Welcome to Talk Tensors. We're here to break down the latest in machine learning research, making it easier to keep up.
That's the goal. Quick insights into key advancements.
And today, we're looking at a paper you shared, one focused on, well, summarizing other academic papers more efficiently. Pretty meta, huh?
Yeah, a bit. But really important for the field. We'll unpack what it does, why it matters, and maybe where it could lead.
Right. And for everyone listening, the link to the actual paper is, as always, in the description if you want to read it yourself.
So this paper introduces something they call Selective Discourse Distillation, or SDD.
SDD?
Yeah. Think of it as an automated way to pull out the most critical points, the core arguments, from really dense ML research papers.
So it helps researchers, or anyone following the field really, get the gist much faster.
Exactly. A clear, quick understanding of the main contribution.
Okay, so let's dive into how it works. We all know ML research moves fast. New papers constantly building on old ones, sometimes challenging them.
Right, it's this ongoing conversation. But the papers themselves, they can be heavy going. Lots of complex math, specialized terms.
It takes real time to wade through it all if you want to stay current.
And that's where this SED method aims to help. The paper outlines a process, quite detailed actually, for creating these summaries.
But concise summaries, right? Not just shorter versions.
Concise, yes, but also complete in terms of the core argument. It tries to capture the whole arc, the hypothesis, the evidence, the main conclusions. It's not just skimming abstracts.
Got it. And you mentioned something about context.
Yes, that's a big emphasis in the paper. The authors really stress understanding the historical context. What research came before this paper.
So appreciating why this new paper is significant.
Precisely. What problems were people trying to solve? What were the limitations of older methods? This paper maps that out.
So it places the new work within the larger story of the field?
Exactly. They draw parallels, show the evolution. It highlights why this new contribution is novel, but also how it connects to everything else.
That makes sense. And the paper itself, is it clearly written?
Oh, yeah. That's another strength they highlight, and I think the paper itself demonstrates it. It's quite direct.
Gets straight to the point. Avoids unnecessary jargon.
Pretty much. Focuses on clarity, efficient communication, which is kind of the point of their whole method, right?
Right. So thinking about the real-world impact, if this SDD works well, what does it mean for researchers like you or for the wider community?
Well, the most obvious thing is time saving. Imagine grasping the core ideas of, say, 10 relevant papers in the time it currently takes you to maybe digest one or two properly.
That would be huge. It could seriously accelerate research cycles.
Absolutely. Spark new ideas, maybe new collaborations because people are more aware of what others are doing, even across different subfields like NLP or computer vision.
You could see faster cross-pollination of ideas.
I think so. If knowledge spreads faster, breakthroughs in one area might inspire approaches somewhere else much quicker than they do now. It could really change the research ecosystem.
Okay, so that leads us nicely into our novel notions segment, where we sort of speculate a bit based on the paper's ideas.
Right, the more speculative, forward-looking part.
So building on this idea of automated summarization, what if we took it a step further? Imagine adversarial abstracting.
Adversarial abstracting. Okay, what do you mean?
Like AI models train not just to summarize, but to generate abstracts that are technically accurate, but maybe subtly framed.
Framed how?
To perhaps downplay competing research or steer the reader towards one specific interpretation of the findings.
I see. So using summarization as a strategic tool within the research game itself, that's interesting. Definitely raises some ethical flags, though.
Oh, for sure. It's just a thought experiment. What about you? Any novel notions sparked by this?
Well, thinking about automation. Maybe summarization tools, not just for humans, but for other AIs.
A common language for AI agents.
Kind of. Imagine different AI systems being able to automatically read, understand, and synthesize findings from thousands of papers to guide their own learning.
Whoa. So AI building directly on the collective published knowledge automatically.
Yeah. That could lead to an exponential jump in AI capabilities, potentially. Machines learning from the literature in a way humans just can't manage at scale.
That's a big leap, but fascinating to think about.
Of course, both of these are purely speculative, just playing with the concepts from the paper. Our usual disclaimer applies. This is just food for thought, entertainment perhaps.
Definitely. So to wrap up, this paper offers a method, SDD, to help tackle information overload in ML research. It highlights clear communication and, crucially, historical context.
Making complex ideas more accessible faster.
Which leaves us with a final thought for our listeners. as these tools for understanding and summarizing research get better and better.
Yeah, how might that fundamentally reshape how science itself is done? How knowledge gets created and shared, specifically within machine learning? Something to ponder.